Thanks, JKL. I am Jeremy Redman, founder of V.One, and we are the easiest no-code platform to launch any app. So everyone has an app idea, but right now only 4% of people know how to even navigate a CMS. This is the current view of an industry leader in visual development. And as you see, every square inch of this screen is filled with something someone has to learn. Another competitor of ours, Bubble, who builds mobile web apps, I akin this to Photoshop, and with that, the learning curve or the design learning curve that comes with learning Photoshop. They claim 430,000 registered users, but around 10,000 monthly active users. I see that as 420,000 people who gave up trying. Compare us to Canva. There's a very little slight learning curve in building something and building your designs in Canva. Here, take a look. Anyone can come in here without giving us an email address, connect their Shopify store, pull in a feed within minutes. We have a direct connection to Airtable as well. They can change the layout, change anything that they want, go to their Airtable base with full integration to change anything. And here's an amazing thing. We have a members only screen that protects content. You can unlock and lock if you want. Even in Webflow, you can still have to drag and drop code, which is kind of frustrating. How do we teach those people? This is what something spits out. And then we have something called X-ray mode that gives people tips and tricks that brings the newbies to experienced developers. They only pay $8 to start, or $79 when they start to grow. These pricing plans are new, and we have ridden them to over $30,000 in monthly revenue. Our beachhead market right now is college incubators and accelerators. They are very resource constrained, and they are very picky, so we learn a lot from them. We've also experimented with business newsletters locally in LA and beyond. We've really tried to have that customer service approach, and because of that, we've earned a 48% referral rate. People love us. This is the competitive landscape. To a new competitor, Glide, they raised some money last year. They're very template-based. The learning curve is slightly lower, at the same time, very templated. Bubble, neither one of these two push native apps either, and we allow people to export source code and go on their journey with them. We will enable 100x more creators with what we're doing because, again, the other platforms with the learning curves essentially are only helping the 4% of people that already know how to navigate a CMS. My CTO was the 13th employee at Box. Brian was the first employee at Zapier. And I am Jeremy Redman, and we are the easiest no-code platform ever.
All right, great job, Jeremy. Okay, investor questions. Ben, we're back to you, Ben Narrison.
Sure. It's interesting. This is something that's been around. I invested in a company that did this about 6 years ago when iPhones first started to popularize apps. So what I'd like to understand is you showed two things. You showed a pretty limited competitive landscape, but there are a lot of dead bodies here. Maybe speak a little bit more to the past and what hasn't worked and what has. And secondly, use cases. You mentioned connecting to Shopify. You mentioned experimenting with newsletters. What are sort of the core use cases you are seeing right now for the people to actually have their apps do?
All right, thanks, Ben. Let's try you. Cindy, are you there? I think we had trouble unmuting you last night. Oh, great.
Hey, my name is Cindy. I've been investing for almost 10 years. I actually invested in Zapier. So you've got a strong team with a Zapier early team member. So my question is, you are raising $0.7 million. What's your plan to invest that money?
All right, thanks. Ellen, question?
I think it's a subscription model. So how do you keep the users staying in your platform after they complete building the app?
Okay, thanks. Jonathan Trieste.
My questions were really similar to Ben's. I guess really how do you differentiate with so much noise? Yeah, thanks.
Okay, great. Question from Richard Syndicate. So it's just for mobile apps? Is this question? You want to take those, Jeremy?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, go.
Okay, so yes, there are so many dead bodies, and there are also new entrants like AWS's Honeycode, and I gotta say, it's absolute trash. Why? because these solutions are built by engineers, okay? I'm a no-coder myself building this no-code platform, and I've done a lot of research on every single builder that's out there. And if you follow the trail, they're all led by technical people. And early on, especially a few years ago, every no-code platform started with the notion of helping developers develop faster, right? They just kind of like backed into helping non-technical people. That's why they failed, and that's why we will win. We are the only no-code app builder led by an actual no-coder. Use cases. We've actually experimented with an embed module that people can adjust their app on the fly. The possibilities are truly endless if it's in React Native. And then they can export their source code for an added fee and build onto it as well. We've had anything from like a machine learning, like counting push-ups piece, to a Shopify store, to small businesses that are tired of DoorDash or Postmates prices. How do we plan to use the money? We are using it right now to experiment more with marketing. The channels that we have experimented with, we're putting more into them, but finding that real coin-based operating system, and also having some resources to build out the customer support team to handle the demand that we currently have. The subscription-based model, yes, it's a subscription-based model. We give a steep discount for annual. Our lifetime value on the new plan is about $300, and we acquire them for $15. So we're pretty good there. And we've really focused on starting and launching. 90% of ideas fail. Those people will come back.